Joined to my right with Coach Dave Carroll, and to his right, Coach Jack Harris. We got our guest on today, an old friend of ours, one of our assistant coaches. He was one of my coaches in school, Codgers principal, Mr. Chris Smith. So I'm going to let these guys they got some questions for you and talk a little bit about your adventure and how you got down here, Coach.
Well, Coach, I think first thing we need to talk about is look at the color he's got on. It's black. Can you imagine this guy in a black?
He looks good, and he looked good in a burlap sack.
Lisa, I hope you're watching now. We're giving him props. Chris and I have known each other 40-plus years, and he and I have traveled quite a bit together. We went to Peach Bowl last year, had a blast. This is one guy that I can be around, and we just laugh the whole time.
The whole time.
I mean, we have a blast. It's just, I sent him a thing and sent him a text last night and asked him, I said, "You ready?" He said, "Nope, Lisa says FCC, you're only allowed to get on there." But anyway, Chris, just kind of tell us, I mean, you were at Fairland. I mean, you've been up there. You substituted. You were a teacher there. You were a coach there. You went to Chesapeake. You were the just kind of tell us how this come about.
Well, when you called me last night and we were talking, I didn't realize until I started thinking about it. This is my first year there was 1990. That's been 33 years ago. And, back then we were all the young pups. Mm-hmm. Now you turn around, it's like, where'd the time go? Because now we're the old guys at the end of our careers. And, Jeff was playing. Coach Jackson was our quarterback and middle linebacker at the time. You and I were coaching junior high football. And then, Coach Snyder and Coach Whitley, those guys gave me a chance to coach. And then Coach Harris gave me the ultimate opportunity I was looking for. That was to be paid to be a high school assistant coach. Mm-hmm. And he took a chance on me, when, quite frankly, no one else would. And
well, your daddy would have whooped my butt.
I learned so much
That's
from you.
Joe Smith's son right here, one of the greats
at
Chesapeake, and it just handed it right on down to the boy.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm telling you, I had more fun up there with you guys, and those are lifelong friendships. With you all, and then Jeff and I still working together through the OVC, and Brian Ward. I can't thank you guys enough for the opportunity you guys gave me 30 years ago.
Well, we thank you for helping us out, brother.
Coach, probably the most lasting thing, I mean, life lessons, and you and I get to still work together from time to time with the OVC, but probably my all-time favorite is taking you up to Locks 27 after a ball game. You'd promise us if we win, you were going to jump in the river. Now, it was you probably thought it was -8 that night, but it was extremely cold. But I remember you tying that rope on your waist and jumping right in the river there, and that's a lifelong memory I have. And all of us that was there that night.
What'd they do? Let go of the rope?
No, because you told me before I jumped, you said, "Please don't drown," because you said you'd end up getting fired. But Coach Davis, and I had worked for him too, and just a fantastic guy down in Chesapeake, and. He had said he would jump in the river, so we were just looking for something to give give just a little bit of motivation. And, like an idiot, I said I'd do it. And, so we win, and I ended up doing it.
Memories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of tell us, I mean, you were a principal down there, but I know last year that you did some other things down there at Chesapeake. Can you give us kind of an idea of what you did down there?
Yeah, I did every job imaginable down there. I was a teacher, coach, assistant principal, athletic director, principal, and then I went over to the board office, and I was doing buildings and grounds and food service, that type of thing, and it was fine. And Mr. Hale gave me a great opportunity to do that, and I thank him too. But that just wasn't me.
He's great guy.
Yeah.
Doug Hale.
Well, you better take some credit here because you're the guy that helped get that new turf down there in Chesapeake this past year.
Well, we put that in, and that was one of the last things we did down there. I was really proud of that. It looks fantastic, and as long as it's for the kids.
We'll be down there next week.
Yes, absolutely, sure will. So, I didn't feel like I was doing what I was called to do, and this opportunity arose, and I jumped on it, and I've had a great time down here. The people at Colgrove have treated me fantastic. Made a lot of new friends already. Co-workers are great, and I really enjoy being here.
Coach, we appreciate you coming on. A lot of memories. I told my wife this morning, I said I'm more excited about this game day show tonight just for the opportunity to have you on here. Like I said, lifelong friends to me. My junior high coach, my high school coach, he kind of followed me up, and one of my mentors. I appreciate everything, Coach. Thank you so much, and I know Codgers is extremely lucky to have a guy like you down here.
Well, thank you, and you guys at Fairland's the same way, with all you guys still involved. And again, I can't thank you guys enough, and thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Love you, Coach.
I love you too, man. It's good to see you.
You too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
We'll let you get back to senior night for those things, and we're going to I think Jerry's got some videos. We're going to be maybe a little bit slower tonight getting some videos. But first video we're going to look at here is Christian Collins on a post route for a touchdown here.
Hey, you're an Appalachian. You can say route.
Route, yeah, route.
It don't matter.
We took Route 52 down here.
That's right. Route 52.
Route 52, you know. That's about what it was, Route 52.
Just south of the creek.
Only road in America. They blacktop every year, and it's still rough as a washboard. So right here we got Christian Collins with the
That
post
was
route.
good. That was good. I like that
Washboard, yeah. My mom would be
Look at this
proud of it.
pass, guys. Perfect.
Perfect timing, perfect throw. Peyton Jackson finding Christian Collins right over the middle. Big time throw, big time catch for Christian Collins.
That was good for Christian. I don't remember. Was he inside receiver on that one, Coach?
I believe
think he
so.
was.
I believe he's inside release.
And I think he had it and got it there. Christian just outran the guy. And I think we did that well. We got a couple other highlights. You're going to see where we had 3 receivers just running right by him.
Next one we're going to look at, we're going to see Bryson Hunt's touchdown reception. Sorry. Bryson just runs right smack dab by this guy from Portsmouth. Right here. Great catch in the end zone that I'm usually setting in. Just an athlete being an athlete.
Oh, yeah. But, again, great pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Bryson doing what he does.
Oh, yeah.
He's made some great catches this year, especially not so much that one because that was just laid right in there for him, but he does a great job of high pointing the ball and catching it with his hands, just like he's coached to do.
Right. And, you know, the last 2 touchdown passes there, and I think we're going to see another one here in just a few minutes, 2-point conversion. The one thing about it is they were great passes from Peyton Jackson.
Yes.
Peyton got his hips turned, just laid him in there. The receivers didn't have to work. It's just right here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great.
It's
If
in
he's
stride.
on
I mean,
tonight-
that's
If he's on tonight, it's
Yeah, oh, yeah. Katie barred the door.
yes, sir.
Next one here, we got Quentin Cremines with the extra point block.
This was big.
This
oh,
was
yeah.
huge.
Well, Coach, we sat there and couldn't figure out who did it. We had to go back and watch the
Right.
replay 2 or 3 times.
You know,
Yeah.
Quentin getting in
right
there.
And I got it.
That's right. That was opportunity right there. We thought that Portsmouth was going to
through
tie the game up. And
He came right through the C gap there, threw his hand up, and was able to get on it. And at that point, it was 7-6, and they were looking to tie it up. And Quentin got a big block there.
it was. Next one we have is Keegan down the sideline, beating the defender for a touchdown.
Keegan smokes this guy, too.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
this. Look at this. Right off the line of scrimmage.
Right off
Now
line.
watch. Turns on the Jets right
Turns
there.
on the Jets. And another good or great thrown ball, I guess I should say. You know, Peyton done an outstanding job with that one there. Now we have 2-point conversion from Peyton Jackson to Bryson Hunt right here.
And Coach, when we get to this, Bryson just runs a little hook pattern.
Oh, yeah.
We've got 3 guys. I believe we're in trips on that, weren't we, Coach? Trips.
Mm-hmm.
Right here.
just
You watch
ran-
Bryson. He's just going to come down inside and sit down and run a little hook. Boom, easy play.
Right. A good rollout pass. Peyton gets his feet underneath of him, gets his body turned, hits him right in the numbers. Now we got Ryan Dixon with a tackle for the loss here. Ryan coming up with a big.
Ryan was our player of the game last week. Coach.
That's right.
He played it.
He played well.
I mean, just
He had a couple hits there. Whew.
yeah, he just
Just
impressive.
yeah, textbook.
Hey,
there.
he's played well at middle linebacker for the Dragons, and I know he walks up to that nose position. Right here, we see him in the middle of the screen at middle linebacker.
Watch him just fill
the hole, and it's a great tackle for a loss. Doing what linebackers are supposed to do.
That's exactly
Just
right.
set, read, and go. Bang, fill the hole and make a good tackle. Last one here, big Ronald Bumpus with a nice special teams tackle on the kickoff. This ended up being the Codgers play of the game.
He was shot out of a cannon, but he got right through.
Now, I want to tell you something else about this play. For the entire game, Portsmouth had probably average starting position around the 35-yard
yeah.
line.
I was going to say 40.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they
They had
mean,
one big return.
Yep. And he gets down there and drops him, what was that, inside the 20?
Inside the 20.
Yep.
Hey, that was a perfect example of a kid staying in his lane, getting down the field, breaking down, and making a great open field tackle.
And I'll tell you what, I'm glad to see Big Ron back.
Oh, yeah.
He's been he fought that injury last year. He fought an injury middle of the season here. He's finally getting to come back. And I told him the other day, I said, Big Ron, I said, guess what? you're the Codger Player of the Week. And Buddy, you should have seen the smile on his face. He said, really? I said, yep.
You guys.
I'll tell you, I love watching him run the football, too.
Oh, I know.
Got some jets.
He does.
in his feet.
He does. You guys call him Big Ron. I refer to him
His
as
real,
Bump.
real name is Lucas, isn't it?
Yep.
Lucas Bumpus.
Lucas Bumpus.
His
I refer to him as
mother
Bump.
is Ronika,
Mm-hmm.
and she worked with my daughter Holly over at the VA when Holly first started out.
Dad is an outstanding cook. You ever get an opportunity to eat any of the food of his dad?
Well-
Holy cow.
Hey, sounds like
Sounds like, yeah.
you got a little work to do this next week.
We can probably, you guys get him player of the game. I'm sure his dad can get you. I see him smoking ribs and stuff all the time.
gosh.
I mean, he can put it together.
Shouldn't be talking like that around us.
That's
should he?
right.
No.
We're going to move on to the pick'ems. Coach Carroll, this is kind of your
Well,
forte.
Well, we worked hard on these this week. Our first game we're going to talk about is Chesapeake versus Rock Hill. Chesapeake's 3-5. They're 0-5 in the league. Rock Hill is 2-6 for 0, and they're also 0-5 in the league. Chesapeake lost to South Point 38-20 last week, and Rock Hill lost to Gallia 44-7. Now, let's just be honest, guys. This game, they're playing for last place in the conference. Both at 0-5. Coach Harris, you get the first pick today. Look at the screen up here.
I'm gonna go with Chesapeake. Chesapeake needs this win to, well, they're 3-5, and they would be 4-5, looking to play against the Dragons next week for a non-losing season. But sorry, it's not going to happen. And, Rock Hill, I just don't think they have the type of game. I think Chesapeake has more weapons because they can throw it, and they've got some kids that can run it. Rock Hill, they're just going to possess the ball. And wasn't it you that was talking about injuries?
Okay, well, we don't know.
See, that's the thing. Rock Hill's had some kids. Their big tailback was hurt the week we played him. I don't know whether he's back or not. It was a shoulder injury. Those are so hard to come back from mid-season.
Right.
And even if you do, you're
football.
Right. Even if you do, it's so tender through the rest of the year. It's hard to figure out on that one.
All right, Coach, you're next.
I guess this would be the Todd Nip Bowl.
Well, yeah, he's a Rock Hill graduate,
He's a
former
Rock
head
Hill
coach
grad,
out there, now
yeah.
head coach at Chesapeake.
This one's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
I talked to Killer and JR on the way down here, and we were trying to figure out what we were doing, and I think Rock Hill's got the edge in this one. It's not going to be a high-scoring affair. I look for this one to be maybe 14-13, something in that area, but I think Rock Hill's just edges them probably at the end of the game.
All right. Coach.
Already picked. It's your turn.
I know.
What'd you say?
I'm not picking my alma mater. I'm going with the Hill. And I'm going to tell you what, Coach Gorby mentioned, it's possession. I think Rock Hill's going to possess the ball and keep it away from Chesapeake. And I don't know that Chesapeake can score every time they touch the ball. Because I feel like in a game like that, when you play somebody like Rock Hill, it's just ball control. Look, if they get 3 yards, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're going to go for it. And, Todd, I love you, and you know that, but I'm going with the Hill. All right.
Probably safe bet there.
All right. Next game, it's Ironton versus Gallia. Ironton is playing at Gallia. Ironton 7-1, 5-0 in the league. Gallia 7-1, 4-1 in the league. Their only loss, of course, was to us. Ironton beat Colgrove last week 54-12. They spanked them pretty good. And then Gallia just beat the tar out of Rock Hill 44-7. So, Coach Gorby, you are first on this one.
Gallia's got Franklin kids back healthy. Both Chamberlain kids back healthy. It's on the grass up there in Gallipolis. It was fired up Friday for WSAZ for Gallipolis. I know it's going to be a huge game. They're going to be all over the hilltop over there, all over the bank up there in those houses and up Coach Osborne's back porch. It's going to be a crazy environment, but it's going to be a running clock for the Tigers. The Tigers in this one.
Oh, running clock. Well, I'm not going to call that, but I will go with the Ironton Fighting Tigers because they're just, if they can keep from fumbling the ball, and if they don't, then Gallia could pull the upset because they have very good athletes. And it's like you say, going to be a wild atmosphere up there. But Ironton, I just think they have too many horses.
They do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Ironton.
Coach, I think it's going to boil down to Gallipolis cannot control the 3 down linemen from Ironton.
Right.
I just don't. I just think those 3 down linemen from Ironton, those defensive linemen, are good, and they can't double team all 3 of them and still get, because those linebackers are going to be stepping and coming. Also, Mr. Happy Feet from Ironton, I think, is going to have a big game tonight.
Yeah.
Sean Terry.
Sean Terry, yeah. By the way, you know, Sean Terry's mom's a graduate of Fairland High School.
Guess where he's visiting tomorrow?
Where?
Michigan.
He's going up north.
Oh,
He's going up north.
come on.
He's already got an offer from Michigan State, but tomorrow he visits Michigan.
I seen Iowa offered yesterday, too.
I wonder where the Buckeyes stand in his recruitment.
That's interesting. The rest of the Big Ten, I think if he gets an offer from that team up north tomorrow, I can see the Buckeyes offering just to try to keep him. I'm not 100% sure why Iowa's offering, because Sean Terry's not a running back.
No.
He's not a tight end and he's not a running back. I'm not 100% sure why I was offering here, but he's a good kid. He deserves everything he gets, and like you said, I think he has a good night tonight too.
All right, last one, Coach Harris. We're back to you. I think this might be a tough one to call too.
This is the top one.
You got South. Now I've got them at home. Coach Gorby says it's at Portsmouth, but I'm not sure.
We passed South Point buses, didn't we? Yeah.
Okay.
So either South Point was going somewhere else, or their band made us say, "Hey, we're not playing here."
So anyway, South Point's 5-3, and they're 3-2 in the league. Portsmouth's 4-4, and they're 3-2 in the league. So they're playing for a spot there. South Point beat the Peak last week, 38-20, and of course Portsmouth lost to us 43-27. So Coach Harris, you're first.
I'm going to go with Portsmouth, and I'll tell you why. They're 4-4, and if they don't win this game, they're out of the playoffs. They have to win this game to get in the playoffs. South Point, they're 5-3, and they got to win this game. And I think that what I saw out of Portsmouth running backs and the quarterback, and not that he's a great passing quarterback or anything, but he's got some really quick feet. I think that Portsmouth is going to prevail in a close one.
I'm going to have to agree with you here. Portsmouth got the opportunity to go, get their 5th win of the season. They got Ironton next week. I got Portsmouth winning tonight, getting beat by Ironton next week, finishing the 16th seed, and having to go play Ironton week 11, the second week in a row.
Oh,
wow, that's unreal.
That's
I didn't think of that.
well, I'm going to
Right
tell
now
you.
we're playing.
New Lex is what I think.
Was it New Lex?
I think that was the projection maybe I was looking at.
Yeah, we'll look at it here in a minute. Well, guys, I'm going to have to agree with both of you, but the reason I think they're going to do it tonight is because I think Mr. Highland is going to have
Minford.
a super game.
Who?
Highland, the kid that we played last week. He was impressive.
Yes, he even busted one late there. Luckily, we had a pretty good cushion, but yeah, he's a real deal.
He really was good. I was really impressed with him. Now, we've seen some good backs. The Franklin kid. What was the other kid from Gallipolis we saw? Hines. Wilburn.
Wilburn.
South Point had Wilburn.
The running back from West, I can't remember what his name is now. That kid was tough.
Yes.
Number
they
2.
brought that kid in late, too, with fresh legs that gave us fits.
Yeah.
Right.
But let's not forget Williams from Ironton either.
But yeah, they're all pretty good.
Yeah, we completely kind of overlooked them, didn't we? All right. Well, Coach, first of all, before we do anything
We
else.
got the last one here. We got the last one.
Oh, that's right.
We got to pick this one tonight.
Got to pick this one. I forgot.
Got to pick this one.
All right, Coach, you're up first.
Wow, this game here, back in the 80s, 7:30 kickoff, Coach Roger Snyder and Coach Dave Lucas. You were home and in bed, showered and in bed by 9:05. I think I remember coming down here. We played a set. We won 7-2. It was my freshman year. I'm not going to mention who had that long snap through the uprights that night that scored there too. The only snap I played my freshman year, so you can figure that one out. But anyways, we were home by 9:15 that night. It was a quick ball game. Then we started with the Coach Harris era. We kicked off at 7:30 down here one night, and I think it was 11:15 before we ever got in the locker room.
The ball might have been all over the field then.
And then
Well, we've had some good ones down
we've
here,
had some
though.
good ones.
I remember beating them. They were going for 2 to beat us, and Jason Brumfield made a big tackle. Of course, their quarterback hit their tailback in the hip with the ball, and Jason came busting through there and got him on the ground. And we ended up winning 37-36.
So I'm going to go, and I'm going to make this, and I told Keller on the way down here, and we made a reference. The Dragons are going to win tonight, and Wayne Neal will not be throwing me up in the bleachers tonight. I promise you that.
Oh, my pick?
Yeah,
Your pick.
You're up.
I just think if Fairland quarterback Peyton Jackson is anywhere like it was last week, we win big.
Yeah.
Big. If he's off a little bit, then we'll win by 10. I know they've got a back that's pretty good, pretty quick. It's Dylan
Murphy kid.
Murphy kid.
He's good. I'm going to go with you. But the reason I'm going to go with Fairland is I don't think they can match up with our skill people.
Right.
I think you saw 3 highlights there of our receivers getting behind them. Unless they play quarters coverage and make us throw everything underneath, I mean, that'll delay it a
right.
little
And
bit.
then
But
you've got the ever dangerous Cam Kitts.
that's right. Well,
And
no,
Quentin.
Cam's out. Coach.
Cam's out tonight.
Oh, is he?
Cam's
Yeah.
still hobble hamstring, so
Oh,
Cam's
man.
out.
Well,
But I
Quentin's
still
going to
agree
have
with
to carry the load, and he's done a pretty good job here lately.
He has.
He is. Okay. So that's our picks, everybody. You can check them out, and we'll see how we did next.
We were talking about that a little bit. Ironton, of course, 1. Fairland Dragons, number 2. Harvest Prep, 3. West Muskegon, 4. Those are the 4 teams right now. They're guaranteed 2. The win out, consider to stay where they are. They're guaranteed 2 home playoff games. Then you got Barnesville, Gahanna Columbus Academy, Portsmouth West, and Heath. Will they stay where they're at? They're considered. They get at least a first round, and then they would have to go on the road. Playoffs started tonight. We'd be playing the Minford Falcons. Portsmouth West, I believe tonight. West has Wheelersburg next week. So Wheelersburg's still in that mix a little bit right there. They're at 11 right now. Like we said, South Point at 9. I think West gets Wheelersburg. Wheelersburg drops down. They're going to be on the road both times for the first time in a while. So,
Well, do you think West will get Wheelersburg?
I think West gets Wheelersburg.
Okay.
West says they haven't lost since they lost to us.
That's
No,
it.
They haven't.
That's it.
They've played well.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, and if all told the truth, they should have beat us.
they should have.
Yeah, they should.
They should have. They're, 10 seconds away?
Yeah.
Anybody wants to, Wayne Horsley here. He's going to be our official tonight. Wayne's one of our buddies. Wayne, good to see you. Good to see you. So
You better get in the picture.
So anybody,
you got to shake a hand.
right
There's got to
here.
be a face.
So anybody tonight wants to yell at the official right here, Wayne Horsley, you can holler. So Wayne's a great guy. He's been on the Southeast District Board. Used to be Mr. Convo. Anytime you went to the Convo, Wayne was the guy that you got with about some things. So a lot of time around Wayne. Great guy. So what are we going to talk? Let's talk a little bit about last week, right?
No, let's talk about last week. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, Coach. I got this stuff done early this week. How much time we got, Coach?
Hey, it is 5:41 right now.
We got to do this quick because we got to get Coach Jackson in here.
He's walking down here, so.
All right. Very briefly, last week, of course, we won 43-27. We finished with 395 total yards. 329 of those yards was passing, 66 rushing. And here's the thing people don't realize at home, probably if you weren't watching, Portsmouth led at halftime, 19-14. Mm-hmm. They outplayed us in the first half. I mean,
Yes, they did.
we all agree with that. Chase Highland, number 2, here's a running back. Listen to this, guys. He had 204 yards of Portsmouth's 257 yards.
He was
He
an animal.
rushed for 167. And he had 37 yards on 5 catches. Now listen to this, because I did the math. He was 79% of their offense. Now, if you remember last week, what did Coach Jackson say? Everything revolves around Highland.
He did.
That's what he said. And he's right. When he's almost 80% of their offense.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Didn't he catch a little swing pass there for a touchdown?
Yeah.
A screen pass.
Yeah,
I think it was.
And
Yeah.
was he the guy who had the big return? Didn't he have the big return too? Kick return?
Oh, I thought that was
I know he was on everything. He was offense, defense,
Well,
special teams.
They had a long touchdown, got their last 6 points for him.
Yeah, I mean, let's just face it, guys. But anyway, we'll go with first downs. We actually had more first downs than they did for a change. We had 17, they had 15. Rushing, Portsmouth was 52 for 220 yards. Highland accounted for 76% of those rushing yards. That's crazy. He had Portsmouth averaged 4.2 yards a carry. The quarterback, Cameron Williams, if you remember him, he threw three INTs, but he had 37 yards rushing on 14. He got sacked a couple times. If y'all remember, he had some good scrambles.
He had some nice runs.
You remember the touchdown he scored where he got hit, did a couple moves.
I know there was a couple times it seemed like we were third and short 2 or 3 times, and he was the guy that would just scramble and pick up, the couple yards that they needed.
Like I said, we only rushed for 66
Can you imagine
yards.
how good they'd be if they had a passing game?
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy. We had 20 carries for 66 yards at 3.3 yards a carry. Now, here's the big discrepancy, guys. Look at the passing. Portsmouth was 5 for 9 for 37 yards. They had that one TD, which is that screen pass, but they threw 3 interceptions. And those 2 of those interceptions were pretty close to one another, if you all remember. Peyton Jackson was 20 for 26, 329 yards, 4 TDs, no interceptions.
And that takes him to 80 total touchdowns in his career.
Yeah, I believe
He's
so.
closing in on Scotty Hutchison,
Getting
who
there.
had – we know Scotty had, I think it was 91 in 3 years. So Peyton's closing in on –
I thought he had 94.
94, yeah.
94. Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, total yards, I told you 257, and then we had 395. Now, here's the thing that would kind of concern me. Penalties. We had 9 penalties for 100 yards. If we're really playing a good team, we can't have that.
No,
I know.
That's a killer. They were 3 for 25, and I think you and I, Coach, you said a couple times, are they ever going to throw a flag on the Trojans? I believe you said that. Anyway, fumbles. Portsmouth had 2. They lost 1.
I would say such a thing.
I believe you did. All right. Let's go. Let's just go through the individual receiving because we got to get Coach Jackson in here. We got to get off the air and get stuff on.
Yo.
Bryson Hunt, 8 for 122 yards, 2 TDs. Keegan Smith, 3 for 113 yards, a TD. Christian Collins, 2 for 34 yards, a TD. Cam Kiss was 1 for 7. Quentin Cremines 1 for 6. C.J. Graham caught 2 passes last week for 10 yards, and Jack Hayden caught 3 for 37.
And C.J. had 1 called back. I think he had a 23-yarder called back.
Yeah, it was a nice one.
Yes.
Coach Jackson, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I know that you watch a lot of film this week from this year and the last 30 years to see the same thing that you're probably going to see tonight.
Yep.
Murphy kid, pretty good running back. Disciplined team, want to run 6-7 hole. Tell us what else you've seen on film this week.
You know, they actually throw the ball off boot more than Jay has in the past. So, but still all play action.
They have that quarterback counter.
Yeah, still the quarterback, counterback, and they still do that one false pull every now and then. You know.
Sucker play, huh?
Yeah, but you know, they got a big strong line. They'll go foot to foot and just try to outman us down the field and try to keep the ball away from us, I'm sure.
They're definitely going to try to lull you to sleep a little bit and hit that one little bootleg pass. So, Coach, you know, had a pretty successful season so far. We talked a lot about Peyton. You know, you've had a great season. You've been very transparent with us over the 8 weeks now, letting us come in and be a part of your program. What do you think right now? If I had to ask you right now, what do you think is probably one of the biggest accomplishments that you've had as a team right now?
As a team,
We'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, the getting our mentality back after the Ironton loss, probably, because I felt like we had it early in the season anyways, and after that bad loss, you know, it's easy to lose a team, you know, lose your locker room after that, and we didn't. We stubbed our toe that game, you know, but you know, don't let like one play make a second bad play.
Right.
Don't make one bad game make a
Next play.
right.
Next play.
So that's probably one of my proudest things of them is just putting that behind them and continuing on 5 straight since then. So.
And I agree. You're probably 100% correct. Just going back to the drawing board, getting back to it, and a couple weeks later winning a huge game against a guy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's, you know, guys is a division bigger, and they was undefeated when we played them, and you know they might lose or not against Ironton, but at the worst they're going to be an 8-2 team, you know, and and P West probably is going to be at worst an 8-2 team. So to have them 2 wins on your resume going into the playoffs, that's pretty good. That's why we're up there,
Right.
kind of high in the standings.
So, well, senior night. It's senior night here. What's the message we're going to hear before you know that you're going to come out emotionally high for this game because of senior night? What's the message we're telling our kids?
Well, we always hope you have a motivation every week.
Right.
You want to be self-motivated anyways, but you got something this week. Last week we had 2 things. We clinched the playoffs with the win, and we become the winnings in class and school history. So that was 2 big things to motivate. Tonight, we win tonight, we 100% clinch a first-round home playoff game for the first game, you know what I mean? So that's our motivation this week. And talking about motivation, every Thursday, I have we have Feed the Team, and different people from different walks of life come in and talk on Thursdays, speak to us, usually for like 15 minutes or so. We might have a preacher, a teacher. We had Mr. Allen, talk one night, and people in the community. We had Zach Tooley one night. Just different walks of life to try to tell them kids about different aspects of life. Just something to get them. But last night we was blessed with a guy named Brandon McGuire, and 2 weeks ago I met him by chance at Texas Roadhouse. Me and Kelly always go. I pick Kelly up after work on Fridays. That's our routine on game day. We go to Texas Roadhouse, have an appetizer, just the thing we do, And 2 weeks ago, I met this guy and talking to him, and then found out he was retired out of the military, and he actually was a sniper in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he said, look me up, and if you want. So me and Kelly go YouTube him. He's on History Channel, was one like 10 deadliest measure. He shot a guy at 1,300 meters. You know what I mean? That's unreal accomplishment. Right? 1,300 meters. It's almost a mile.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I said, man, we'd be honored to have you come.
Oh, yeah.
And he jumped right on. He's originally from Kansas, and joined the military, and he got stationed at Marshall over the ROTC his last few years of the military. And just having him speak to our kids last night, telling them about, you talking about American hero, man. He paratrooper, was in Afghanistan, was in Iraq, was in firefights in Afghanistan, was laid up. Watch that sometime. Look up, just YouTube Brandon McGuire, and he holed up for 3 days inside this building, and the message he gave our guys was about accountability. He's like, we don't care who the president is, what the politics is. He said, you end up fighting for the guy beside of you. Just like football, no matter what your coach says, you're playing for your buddy beside of you. So.
Coach, there's no other sport, as far as I'm concerned, that prepares a young man for the game of life like football.
And that's one of the things he mentioned. He was a football player in high school, and he said his tour days prepared him for boot camp.
Yep.
And just we, like I said, use our speakers of 15 minutes. I told him, I said, you've earned the right to talk as long as you want. You talk about whatever you want. And he was there for 45 minutes because we kept asking questions, and some of them guys that's seen that and been part of that, they can't talk about it, and that's understandable,
Right.
But he was up front and it was just a great experience for our kids, I think, to see a true American hero in my books, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It was great for him last night.
That's good. And I'm glad that you had the opportunity to bring him in. That's great for our kids and great for our community. Coach, good luck to you. 3 hours. We're going to be out here.
Let's
We'll
do
shake
it.
hands in the winner's circle.
Be 8-1, right?
That's
That's
right.
right.
Get it.
That's right.
Hey,
Appreciate you guys.
keep it going. I'll see you
All right,
upstairs.
good luck tonight, brother.
Thank you, guys.
See.
Appreciate you.
Big week for Michael last week. His son Peyton, Max Preps Player of the Week.
Yes.
Talked to Kelly a little bit today. This past week, also former Fairland Dragon J.D. Dinwiddie, who's a head coach down in North Carolina. His son Lex was Player of the Week as a quarterback down in the area of North Carolina where he's at. Pretty special moment for those two guys who played together, battled together. Their sons being named Player of the Week. pretty much at the same point in time.
Yeah.
As I was kind of reading those articles this past week, smile to my face. I played with both of those guys. JD played right beside me, snapped the ball to Michael every time. They're brothers to me. Love those guys. So congratulations to both coaches and both players. An unreal feat for both guys.
Okay, I got one thing I want to say, and I'm going to say it again when we get upstairs. How about that Lady Dragon volleyball team? Coach Mary Haynes.
Great.
Unbelievable. Lost 5 starters from last year and put this team together. And I went to that game. I seen you down there, Coach. And I have never experienced such good volleyball by both teams. Chesapeake is bona fide. That Dragons were able to pull it out in 4 sets. And I was so happy for Coach Haynes and that program. You lose 5 starters off last year's team, and she comes back and coaches. I told her, I said, you just coached them up. That's all it is.
That's all it was.
We gave her a hard time this morning. She walked by this morning, and I just got down. I said, I'm not worthy. I said, champions last year and then outright champions this year.
Back-to-back, I don't know that it's been done at Fairland.
I don't think so.
I don't know that it's been done. I know we've won it 5 or 6 times, maybe 7. I don't know that back-to-back has been one. I'd have to look at the banner and look at some records, but I don't think back-to-back has been done. So over the last 2 years, they are 26-2 in league play.
Wow.
That's awesome.
We'll talk about our game day sponsor. We'll let you guys talk about this one here. Jerry going to bring it up on the thing. Oh, it's Diamond Design. Sorry, I didn't know for sure who it was. Diamond Design. Crescent Smith.
Yes.
Evan Salyer and Luke Thomas.
Yes.
If you need home theater, alarm systems, anything of those natures, these are the guys to get a hold of. Crescent's a great person. Crescent's been doing it for several years. Luke and Evan just kind of jumped on board here in the last year or so. Again, get a hold of these guys. They can take care of you, help your entertainment, and all that good stuff.
And with Crescent, you will be entertained.
Oh, yeah. You definitely will be entertained. So, again, there's our pregame sponsors. Again, OVC cross-country meet tomorrow at the Fairland board office. Starts at 4 o'clock. It's going to be a little bit different of a field. We're going to go boys middle school first, girls middle school,
4:30.
then boys high school at 5, girls high school at 5:40. We've kind of had to rearrange that a little bit. We had middle school volleyball and some high school volleyball tomorrow conflicting. Not our high school volleyball, but some others.
Volleyball.
Right, conflicting, so we had to move those around. OVC championship tomorrow for that. Girls volleyball travels to Fairfield Union on Monday for their sectional semifinal game.
Boys, that's going to be a tough game.
It's going to be a real tough game.
They've got a girl up there that's, I don't know, 6'1".
She was sophomore on the basketball team, played last year, and I was talking to Kelsey Warnock last night. She says she's an amazing volleyball player.
She is.
So,
somewhere this summer, maybe it's OU team camp, got a steal, 2 steps, hanging on the rim.
Wow.
She's that type of player.
Wow.
I don't think she made the dunk, but she went up and tried it and hanging on the rim. She's an unreal athlete. Soccer team, girls soccer team, plays the 19th, Thursday the 19th at Union Odo. Boys play the 18th at Jackson. We're going to get off here. We'll be back upstairs at 6:30 or at 6:50. Sorry.
We're going to try to 6:50.
We're going to try to 6:50. We'd also like to mention tonight, going into tonight, we've had 16,500 views on pregame and the Codgers game day show.
Thank you, America.
Yeah,
that's right.
16,500. I seen Eric Carroll said he watches this pregame and the game every Friday night from Southwest Florida.
Yeah, and he watches with David Judd.
Yeah. So I know there's some other people out there that have texted me out in California. They said they come home from work, get them a pizza and a beverage, sit down and watch the Dragons every Friday night.
Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate
so
everybody.
much.
Yes. Send us a text. We'll give you a shout out.
Give you a shout out. That's right. So, again, 6:50, we'll be back on the air upstairs. Got a lot of things planned. Again, I'm going to try to run the scoreboard tonight. We don't have Josh with us tonight. He's over saving lives tonight. He's on call. So we're going to let him take care of that important thing as a nurse or as an X-ray tech. Again, we appreciate everything he does, but he can't be here tonight. So I'm going to try to fill his shoes. but I know that I just can't do it all together. So 6:50, we'll see you guys here in a little bit.
All right, see you in a bit.
Good night, Dragon Nation.
Good evening.